Hello and welcome back to Chapter 2. This is video 3 and I'm going to do this one a little bit differently than the other ones. I'm only going to talk about prime factorization here, which I started at the end of the last video. I'm actually going to go back. You're on page 8 right here. I'm going to go back and just recall what it is we talked about at the end of that last video. Prime factorization is a product. That means multiply of prime numbers. So you multiply prime numbers to end up with that number. That string of prime numbers can actually be useful for us. 72 we worked out at the end of the last video, and a couple of ways two ways you can write the answer: 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Or I mentioned you can multiply 2 to the power of 3 times 3 to the power of 2. The bottom one is really the better of the two answers, but either way for me is fine. For us, I'll just be happy if we can get to that using the trick I taught you in the last video, and I'll continue to review it here. And hopefully you've already worked these two out since the last video. But just to show you the process here, if I'm going to multiply to get 24, I do that if I can, any number other than 1. So 6 times 4 is one way to do that. Now you might have done something else. You might have done 12 times 2. That's okay. You can get the same answer. Go ahead and check it and see. So then what you do here, you ask yourself if any of these are prime. And if it's not, you have to continue multiplying. 6 can also be rewritten 3 times 2. And 4 can be rewritten 2 times 2. So, like I mentioned in the last video, what I like you to do is, if it's prime, circle it only if it's prime. Those are all prime numbers right there. So you have 3 2's, that's 2 to the power of 3, times, you have 1 3 times 3. If you multiply this out, 2 times 2 times 2, that's 8. 8 times 3 is 24. That does multiply out to equal 24. And that is the prime factorization of 24. There. So if we go on and finish this up with the last one, 45, again, the only way to multiply 45 is 5 times 9. Now, you ask yourself, are any of these prime? Well, the 5 is prime, but the 9 is not, because the 9 can be rewritten 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 is 9. And there are no other prime numbers other than that. So what we have here is you have 3 times 5, or the better answer would be 3 squared times 5. Okay, so when you hit that in your homework, please spend some time on prime factorization, as it takes a little bit of work. Once you kind of get the hang of it, it's not too bad. Now I'm going to stop the video here in just a second, because the next video is about divisibility rules, and I don't think I'll have time to get through everything I want there. So this is a shorter video, but important for you because it's tricky. It's a tricky concept for you to do. So in the next video, divisibility rules, we will be looking at tricks to do some of this mental math to find these factors faster, and hopefully be able to increase the amount of time that you can get those questions done. We'll see you soon.